Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a good day so far. Today is Tuesday, and I'm Brenda Quintana, and we are going to make a card today. So, on Tuesday, Casing Tuesday, we take a card out of the catalog and we give it a makeover. And today's card was actually a card that I chose, so I enjoyed making this card. It was easy for me. But I was talking to one of the other design team members last night, and she was trying to do two challenges at once, and she found this layout challenging. So I hope it's not a challenging layout for you. I'll show you what card it is. Let's take a peek at this card right here. Here is the card, and I I love having lots of different layers because basically I look at the layers and I just substitute. I don't have this stamp set. It is kind of hilarious actually though, and I think it's quite clever. So after seeing this card, I mean I picked it, but after seeing the card and working with the layout in front of me the whole time, I was like, yeah, I think I might want the stamp set too. It's kind of fun and cute. But you can take this card and break it down into its layout proportions. You can take each of those squares and rectangles. Actually, I don't think there's any squares. I usually, those extra, those 3/4 inch circles, I just wouldn't even put those on there. Those are just like added images that you can have. Those are where the P's were, but I pretty much ignore those because that is so specific to your card, right? If you're going to put something there. So all of this information is over on our Facebook group. It is also posted on my blog, so you can use it to create your own card. And I hope you will join us over there on the Facebook group. We have a design team that works every week and comes up with samples. And then we invite everyone else to come in and join us. So it's not just us. You are welcome over there. Case a card with us because it's a really great way to use resources that are already at your disposal. Most of us have a catalog, or we can see the catalog online. And that will allow you to take all of those cards and start to break them down into components so you're not starting from scratch every single time. It's a really good exercise. So let me pop this away. So I wanted to talk to you. My BOGO sale started last week, and a number of you have already ordered on it, and thank you very much for that. I will be shipping if you ordered from me and you paid both. You placed your order and you paid for your shipping for the retired products. Those should be going out either on Wednesday or Thursday. That will be my first batch. Also extending my sale up until August 30th. I would really love to have my retired product passed on as much as possible because I want to not have to store it again. So check it out. If you go to my blog, I'm just going to pop up my blog name here. This is actually, if you just go to cubiesquest.com, don't do the /join. That's to get to the starter kit page. But if you just go to cubiesquest.com, on the main page right now, you will see BOGO sale. If you click on that, it will take you to my BOGO sale rules page. And there are some buttons that will take you to my sale items, and there's like pictures of all the bundles, stamp sets, and embossing folders that I have that are available. What you do to participate in the sale is look at what I have left. Everything that is taken is marked. Up until this point, I had a few more that I had to add this morning, so all of those labels have been added as of this morning. And then you just email me and say, okay, I want this and this and this, or just one thing, that's fine too. And just let me know what you want, and then I will email you back and let you know if it's still available. Most of the time it is, but sometimes it isn't. And if it is available, I'll let you know how much you need to spend in the store. It's equal value. So say you want a $50 bundle, you need to spend $50 in the Stampin' Up! Store with current merchandise, and I will send you the retired bundle for free. The only other thing, it's free except for the shipping. I can't afford to pay for the shipping because otherwise I would probably lose money or so you just need to pay for the retired product shipping. So it just kind of depends on what you order. If you order something that has a punch in it, those are heavy, so it's going to be more. But if it's a stamp set, it's going to be like $5 or $6. So it's not as expensive. It just kind of depends. I have to weigh it and see, and then I will let you know the cost, and that will all be in the first email, so you'll be able to see everything up front, everything that you'll need to pay. There'll be no surprises, and then I will ship you your retired products once you pay for your shipping and place your order. And so it's a really, really good deal. Maybe you missed out on some bundles in the last few years and you see, I have that bundle available. Most of the bundles that I have, I've done a project with them. So it will be fun to go back and look at my old project sheets and see what you can make with that bundle. So I am actually planning on doing a BOGO sale tour. I think I'm going to be doing it tomorrow if I can squeeze it in, either Wednesday or Thursday. I'm going to go through, I think I'll start with the bundles and see how long it takes me and go through all of them and show you them up close and personal rather than a teeny tiny photo. And that way you'll be able to see a lot better what I have available. But if you see something now, make sure you grab it before it's gone. All right, the other thing I need to talk about, and that BOGO sale has a special host code that I will send you when you're placing your order. I do have another host code going if you just want to place an order without being part of my BOGO sale, and that is my regular August host code. And if you spend $50 with me in August using this host code, you will be getting a package of the, where did they go? Oh my gosh, there they are. The Earth Tones Shimmer Gems. So that will be my gift to you that I will mail out in September. If you ordered from me in July and you earned a gift, they were sent out yesterday. They went out in yesterday's mail. So some of you should be getting them this week. And, you know, if you're further away from me, you might not get it till next week. But they went out on Monday, so hopefully they will get to you as soon as possible. And thanks again so much for ordering from me. I really, really appreciate it. Okay, I am going to pop these away. And I'm glad to see you have some of you here this morning. I'm going to go ahead and switch to my other camera. And I'm going to show you how to make the card. Oh, I'll hold up my card first. Look, this is the card that I made this morning. It is so fun. Look at those little ducks. I looked up how to color the mallard because the male, because I wanted it to look like a mallard. It has all the markings for the mallard, so it was very easy. There is a stamp that will allow you to add some of the color, but it doesn't let you do the individual coloring like I did it unless you marker it, and I don't love that technique. It's just not my cup of tea, but it's very easy to color the male mallard with Stampin' Blends, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And I just love the way this card came together. Just plug and play, add all of those little pieces, and then on the inside I just did another little duck and the happy birthday. So the hello friend and the happy birthday stamp both come with this bundle, so you only need one bundle for all of your images. All right, let's do this card. Let's do it. I have kind of a little bit of a wonky lighting coming in this morning. I have my blinds open, so we have a lot of bright light, but we'll see if the sun comes out. We might need to shut my blinds. Okay, So let's talk about this. We have the Charming Duck Pond bundle, and that includes this stamp set and these dies. They're very fun dies. I used to bird watch, actually duck watch, when we lived in Tennessee. We were on a lake, a small lake that was on the Mississippi Flyway. And every fall and spring we would get migratory ducks. So I love ducks. I love watching them land and trying to identify them. Mallards were there year round, but I loved watching the migratory ones as well. So this is a fun bundle for me. Then I also use the Nested Essentials dies, and they were actually on the original card as well. So these labels are really cool, especially because they've got that stitching around them, and you can use them in a lot of different ways. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to need to do some die cutting. So why don't we go ahead and do some stamping and get our die cutting out of the way first so that we can just start to build the card. So we're going to need to stamp some ducks because we're going to be die cutting them. I'm using basic white because it's smooth, just the regular one. And we'll use the Memento ink because we're going to be using Stampin' Blends. And I'm just going to stamp this. I think I need to go this way. And there's the little male duck. And this one I think is the female because it doesn't have the male markings. So this one might have to go this way. Okay. So those are the two ducks. We're going to need to die cut those. We're also going to emboss this layer. I think it's easiest to do the embossing first and then the die cutting so that you get the exact spot for your greeting. So let's do that. I've got a piece of Shy Shamrock here. I've got my, this is an embossing buddy. This is from the Embossing Editions Toolkit. I'm just going to swipe this on here. This helps stray flecks of embossing powder not to stick on the area where you don't want it. You'll use like a Versamark ink because it's got, there's a piece of something on there, a piece of plastic. Versamark ink is an ink that is a clear ink that stays wet for a while, which is perfect for embossing. Using Hello Friend, I'm going to tap, tap, tap on there and just center it right on here. You can kind of see the shadow right there. You can also use this for shadow stamping. You do need to wait for it to dry, so I tend to use the same color on the same color rather than doing the Versamark. I got some of that new Wow embossing powder and I have dumped it into here. This is the, I think it's called the Basics or something like that. You have black, white, and clear. This is the white one. I dumped it into a container and I have just a baby spoon here. I love this because it's just so much quicker than capturing it on a piece of paper. So I just will cover that, spoon it over, dump off the excess. And, oh, we do have some stray flecks, but you know, sometimes if you just do this, it will take it off. Nope. I'm gonna just do this then. Get the stray fleck off before it sticks on there. Okay, so let's set that aside. And we're going to bring in our heat tool. And just kind of move it around until you can see that it's starting to melt. You can see it's kind of half melted. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so we're going to set this aside and we're going to die cut that as well. Then we are going to grab a piece of Pool Party. This one measures 4 1/4 by 3 3/4, and we are going to emboss this with an embossing folder. And I think we just need one extra label. We'll talk about that when we get to it. So let's grab our Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. Let's move these out of the way. Grab our plates. So we're going to use the number 1 base plate, the number 2 thin die adapter, and a bottom plate. I think this one feels flatter. I always like to put the one that feels a little flatter on the bottom. So this one here, we'll grab our little ducks. We'll grab our dies. And we just need to, I've got a piece of that Post-it labeling and cover up tape here. I'll just stick that down. And I got another piece here. Turn this one. I'll just make sure you can see all the outside of that duck. And okay, I think we could do this one too. Let's grab this one. Let's shove this one over here. This one goes here. Got another piece of tape here. So I'm just going to center this like that. And we're going to run this through. Snap, crackle, and pop. Okay. So let's grab our ducks and we're going to color these afterwards. There is number 1. There is number 2. And then we'll grab this right here, and there's our label. And I actually did earlier die cut this label. This one's the second largest nested essential die label, and I just cut a basic white one so that we would have something for our ducks to go on. Now we're going to do that embossing layer. So for that layer, this embossing folder that we're going to use is the So Swirly. This one is a super large embossing folder. It is like the size of my plate. Let me measure this for you. It is like the most ginormous thing ever. It is 6 by 8.5. It is a large. This year we have a couple that are really large embossing folders. I've never seen them so large before, which is good if you want to do bigger pieces. So the reason I like this embossing folder for the duck pond was because it's got these swirls in it that look like water. So I'm just going to pop that into my embossing folder. I'm working on my base plate, my number 1 plate, and I am going to get rid of this number 2 plate because we're not die cutting. Okay, so we're going to put 1 clear plate on the bottom, our embossing folder with this cardstock inside it, and then another clear plate on top. Now this embossing folder is not a thick embossing folder. If I had a thick embossing folder, I would use my gray plate on top and no clear plates. But the So Swirly is a regular thickness embossing folder. And look how pretty that is though. It is just wonderful. And last night when I was trying to decide what to do with that layer, I didn't want the layer to be, I tried likes to see if this layer could have like more color to it, but I wanted my attention to be on my ducks. And as soon as I put something in the background that had a lot going on, it took the attention away from the ducks. So I decided going tone on tone was kind of the best option. And really, that's how the original card was built. So I think that's kind of what I decided to do. Okay, so let's build this card from the ground up. So we've got a piece of Coastal Cabana cardstock that measures 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it in half at the 4.25 inch mark. And then you just need to fold it, and I like to take my bone folder and just press on it so that it lays flat. It makes it easier to build your card. Let's grab my glue. I'm going to add this piece onto here. Grab this. I'm trying to decide. I think both ways have the same look to them, but I think I'll do this side. Like, I think because of the way sometimes one side looks more embossed than the other, like debossed, embossed, but in this case I think the swirls are almost equal. So we'll just add this on here, and I'm going to center it from side to side and from top to bottom. So I'm just trying to eyeball it and see. That looks close enough. Okay. Then we're going to take a piece of designer series paper, and let me just grab this. This paper matches the Charming Duck Pond bundle, and it is called Lily Pond Lane Designer Series paper. You'll find all the supplies that I used today in my supply list, which is down below in the description of the video, and it's also over on my blog. Okay, so I cut this piece, and I believe this is 4 3/4. Let me just check. 4 3/4 by 1 inch. And I want to glue this up about 1 inch from the bottom of the pool party paper. Could have also done this paper, but you notice that this has more pattern to it. And if you have this color here reads almost solid, so it's easier to work with. So I'm just building up this card, and I'm also centering this piece from side to side and about 1 inch up from the bottom there, and press that down. Okay, so now we're going to take this piece of this label that I cut earlier out of basic white, and we'll glue this one down too, and then we'll prepare the ducks. So this one I've glued about maybe 1/2 inch on the pool party, in from the pool party layer on either side, and we'll just kind of add that down so you can see the layout taking place. And then we'll have this one, which will be right over here in a moment, but I'll glue that once I've got the ducks on there, because I want to make sure that the ducks have prominence first. So let's grab these little guys. Let's figure them out. Let's do the male mallard first, and I'll grab a bunch of these Stampin' Blends. Let's start with the head. So when I do nature images and I want to color them exactly like they would look in nature or close to it, I always Google the image. So I'm starting off with dark shaded spruce, and I'm going to go on this side of the head and then near the beak, because I noticed that that was the way it looked like. There was like dark on the outside, and then the light hits the center part of the duck head. So I'm going to take, this one is dark shy shamrock, and I'm going to blend out that line. I'm going over it and over it and over it to break it down so it's blending together. That's what the alcohol and the blends will allow you to do those two colors blend together. But when you look at it closely, you'll see still that there's dark on either side. So it's kind of cool. Okay, so then I noticed that the beaks were yellow. So I'm doing Daffodil Delight Dark. Yes. And the feet were orange. So I'm going to do Pumpkin Pie. And you know what? Let's just go ahead and do the female while we're at it. She also has pumpkin pie feet. And she also has a yellowish beak. I think her beak's a little less yellow, but let's just kind of do samesies for those. Then the mallard has kind of a cinnamon colored chest. So I'm going to use light copper clay for the chest, and I'm going to be careful not to hit that white band, because that band right around the neck, it's kind of funny, it looks like a collar, but that stays intact up there. So you can kind of see that he's coming together. Then I'm going to use gray granite, and I'm going to use gray granite light, and I'm just going to brush this on here. Going to try to leave a little bit of white right in the center. And I notice that I'm going to use dark gray granite. I noticed that this part right here was kind of darker, like under the wing, and there was a little bit of darker on the back. So you can go over, the artists that designs these are usually pretty good. They usually kind of give you like placement for dark areas, you know, kind of look for those lines. So that's how the little mallard turned out. I think he's super cute. And then for the female is a little easier, because there are these stamps that go with them, and for the female I'm just going to use the stamp. So I used crumb cake last night, and I found it too dark, so I'm going to use well, for this one I also use basic beige, which I think crumb cake would probably be maybe a little bit better. I don't know. It kind of just depends. If you have blends, you can do an even better job, because, so maybe that's what we'll do. We'll do basic beige, and we'll add a little bit of crumb cake maybe on the blends. Let's grab my light crumb cake. Let's add a little, maybe we need our dark crumb cake. Let's add some dark crumb cake. Yes. Now I'm feeling it. Because while female mallards are, they're a little bit less, a little less showy than the males, but they still do have different colors of brown. So we can just add a little bit of brown to the female and give her some highlights. And I think I'll leave some white underneath, because they do have some white, but not completely white. Okay, that's good enough. We are ready to add our ducks onto here. So I'm going to add the first duck kind of towards the top. I'm going to have them cross over. We'll add the little female duck here. And you know what? If you don't want to do these like real ducks, you can do them whatever color you want. Truly you can. You can do fantastical ducks, right? Let's grab some dimensionals for this guy. I want him to pop out a little bit since he's on top. Pop this back in here. Okay. And here. Uh-oh. Got a little close to the edge. Let's see. See if we can, let's peel that little dimensional back just a bit. Okay, it's fine. It is fine. We can put this over here. We're gonna just like this, like this. Okay, that's good. All right, and then we'll glue this on here, right here. Just so it's overlapping some of this paper, some of the white, and so it kind of just nestles down into here. And I think I remember last week saying, oh, I've got just some of these peach pie left. Well, let's use them all up because I used some of them on this card. That way I'm done this whole sheet and I can start a new pack because I just, well, I guess I could have stuck these into the new pack, but gosh, it always feels good to finish stuff up. Are you a finish stuff person? Finish stuff up person like I am. I like to finish things. So we're just going to add some of these gems onto here. I'm going to put one, let's put one here and down here. Yeah, we'll put 4 on, which is not my typical. I usually do odds, but it's okay because this one's on the peach pie paper, so it's not as showy, but I just needed to use it up. And there you go. It's not really a hard card, and I actually really liked coloring this deck because it was so small. It doesn't really take very much time at all, right? So there we go. And I love that we had a starting point, right? Like we had, coming over here, we had our starting point. Let's put our card up again for today. Let's make it a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to grab my card here. Okay, let's move it back and then over. And then peek my eyes out on top to make sure. So there we go. You can kind of see I did a lot of similarities in color, right? I did contrast my background color a little bit using Coastal Cabana with the pool party because I thought that it gave another layer to the card that could be really visible, but it didn't contrast a lot. It was just a subtle shade difference, so I thought that would look really nice. I used the same color for the greeting label. I moved it a little bit. I used the same color for this strip, but I used a different designer series paper. And then the little peas, you know, I just had little ducks instead. So it's fun to see how you can use your stamps to create a similar card based on this, you know, based on a card out of the catalog. And I didn't have to spend a whole lot of time trying to figure out a layout. This card, I don't know how long it took me to design it because I went back and forth and, you know, but no more than an hour, probably truly about half an hour to figure it out. So that saves you a lot of time when you are trying to figure stuff out. So if you like this card and you want to see more of me, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and give me a like. That would be very much appreciated. Leave me a comment down below. I appreciate all of that too. And now I'm going to talk to all of you and say hello. Let me know if you have any questions before I sign off here today. I think I was relatively quick today. I thought today's card would take a long time because of all the different layers. Oh, I didn't do one thing. Let's go back 1 second. Let's just do the inside layer real quick. Okay, so I've got a piece of cardstock that is 5 inches by 3 3/4 inches. I've got a little piece of that same paper as the front. It's 5 inches by 1/2 inch. And I am just going to glue this on here. So I need to start doing the insides of my cards because I use my cards to send birthday cards and all of that. And so it is really good idea to finish off the inside of the card. Otherwise, you're going to have to do it later. And that takes extra time. So why don't you do it now when you have all your stamp sets out? So I'm just going to adhere that to the bottom. This is one of the easiest ways to dress up the inside of your card. And on my original card, I just stamped my deck and colored it, but I didn't want to have to color the same deck over again on camera. So I die cut one. I colored and die cut one before I came on here. So I'm just going to glue this little guy down into here on the bottom. And that way you have just a little bit of fun on the inside, right? We come over here. Oh, one more thing. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. This is going to be a happy birthday card. And let me just see. I liked the placement of that happy birthday. It looks good on camera, and I think it's going to be good down the road too when I write my birthday message inside this card, because you want to have it. I'm looking down here. You want to have it up high enough, because I like to write the person's name and then I like to write a personal message underneath. So if it's centered for me, it's actually kind of awkward, because then you have like dead space up at the top. So I kind of liked the placement of that. I thought about that ahead of time, because yeah, yesterday I sent off a bunch of birthday cards and I was like, I have not finished these cards. And so I had to go back and do something for the inside of the card, because I don't like to have them, I like to have a little something on the inside. So I need to start doing that more. So that's why I finished off my inside. And see how pretty that is? It's really nice. And there, it's, you know, it's a nice finished card. Okay, there we go. Now I'm done. All right, I'll say hello to all of you. We have Mary this morning from Indiana, and we have Marty, and she says she loves that bundle and paper. It's cool, isn't it? Good morning, Janine. Hello, Mary. We've got two Marys here this morning, and we've also got Valerie and Nancy and Deborah. Good morning to all of you. Good morning, Ruth. And she says she loves my projects and cards. Thank you, Ruth. Good morning, Kim from Alberta, Canada. I love Alberta. Alberta is next to my home province of British Columbia. So we sometimes camped in Alberta. All right. So Nalita says she can hardly hear me at times. Is anyone else having trouble hearing me this morning? Because I do have my thing plugged in, and I did check my volume this morning. So let's see. Nalita, you are on YouTube. So there is also there's two volumes. Like there's the volume on your device, and then there's also a volume on YouTube there's that little bar down at the bottom of your YouTube video, and there's also a way to increase the sound down there. So check it out and make sure you have your sound the sound pushed up all the way in your video, and just let me know if anyone else is having trouble hearing me this morning, because I want to know that, because we're all on different devices. It might sometimes be your device. Like I sometimes during a meeting I forget to unplug something, I can't hear anyone. I noticed the other day I was watching someone else's YouTube video and I couldn't hear them very well, and I noticed that while I had my computer sound turned up all the way, my YouTube sound on that video down at the bottom was low. Okay, Nancy says no problem hearing. Awesome. Okay, well, hopefully, Nalita, we can figure out your problem, and hopefully it's one that's just tied to your device or maybe the volume you have set on YouTube. Marty says embossing is always magic. Yes, it's true. And I love on this card, we did both dry embossing with the embossing folders, and we did heat embossing with the embossing powder. And I love the look. I love, that look with dark cardstock and white embossing. So I should talk before I go any further. I should talk a little bit about card design here. So a nice card that's pleasing to the eye, and this can be done in different ways, but your eye is drawn to white in a card, to light areas. So on this card, your eye will probably first go to the biggest white space, which is where the ducks are. That's where I want you to look. And then it probably transitions over to the hello friend, like you're kind of centering on there. This background paper, if it had more white in it, then it would distract from the other elements. But I think it works well because it's a different size and it's not overwhelmingly white. And then this cardstock, the Costa Cabana and the Pool Party work together as a darkish sort of background that frame everything up, but not in a traditional way. Like I haven't framed this white area off, which I could have done, but it creates like a big background frame because it's a big block of color. But I was still able to add some interest in the background without adding any other colors, just by doing an embossing folder. So that's a nice little trick so that you can add a little bit more things for the eye to look at but not be distracted by. So when you're designing cards, and I've done this before, I've designed a card and I've looked at it and I go, why do I not like this card? This card has so many great elements on it. Why does it look wrong? And you might have a look at, maybe you have too many great elements on your card. Maybe you haven't decided where your focus, where you want people's eyes to focus. So if you want people's eyes to focus on something, the natural way to do that, or the easiest way to do that, is to have a white space that is the largest space on the card. So in this one, it would be the duck area, and that is naturally where the eye will go. And then it will look around for other white things like this little greeting and then the paper, and it all kind of flows really nicely. It's pleasing to the eye, right? So when you're designing cards, that's just something to keep in mind. Where is your focal point? And do you have too many focal points? If your card doesn't look right, you might have too many focal points. All right. That's just something I learned. And it's easy just to share that with you on this card because it's a very good example of a card that has like different areas of white that still work together. Okay, let's keep going. All right. Good morning, Diane. Nice to see you here. Good morning, Ellie. Marty says it's a very cute card and she loves the ducks. Marianne said she had trouble hearing me at first. Is that true, Marianne? Maybe did you change something, or did something change? Because I don't think I changed anything this morning on my sound once I went live. I checked everything ahead of time. All right, Nancy asked, do you have a new camera, Brenda? I do. It's new-ish. I can zoom in and out. Today I probably wasn't zoomed in as much as I normally did. I didn't hit the zoom far enough. But yes, I got this camera a few months ago when Nicholas was here. He helped me find a new camera, and I do really love it. If you go back, like even to the beginning of the year, and you look at my videos, you'll probably notice they're a little less clear and they have a little bit more of that kind of, I think it's called ghosting, where you can kind of see the ghost of an image move past. When you have this camera now, tracks things a little bit more closely, so you don't have that kind of after effect coming through the camera. So I'm very happy with this new camera. It's working out really, really well. So thanks for noticing. Um, she also asked how my remodel's coming along. Well, we haven't actually started yet. We do have a start date now. It's September 16th. So I have just under a month. I still have to order some things. I think I'm getting my doors order should be coming this week. My tile order is coming next week, and I have a few more things that I need to buy for installation purposes, but the main things, like the main core things, have been ordered. My vanity should be coming by the end of August, and I've got these really cool medicine cabinet mirrors coming. I have to do a video on this. I want to do a before video, so I need to. This reno is going to encompass both the master bedroom and its washroom, because we are taking down closets to put this bathroom in, and we're going to add closets on the other side of the room. So I want to kind of do a pan and show you what everything looks like now, so you can see a before and then afterwards. Really super excited about it. It's going to be nice. Our shower's really small right now, and if you have long hair and you have to wash it, it's really hard to wash long hair in a tiny shower, because like I kind of have to bend over to like wash my hair, and there's not a lot of room. So I can't wait to have just a little bit more room so I can actually not like hit my head on the wall when I'm showering. And our sink area is so small. It is like the just tiniest little area. My husband and I were just, yeah, we cannot wait for this to happen. So it's gonna be like, probably the minimum time is going to be 5 weeks, but I'm thinking it won't be done at least until the end of October. So we'll see how it all goes. It's going to involve plumbing, electrical, the heating, not so much structural, because we're kind of keeping the main wall, but everything, like everything's it's going to be new insulation, new drywall, everything. It's pretty big, but I love this stuff. I absolutely, I'm just as concerned about the insides of the structure, like how everything is done and done well, than I am about what the finishes are, because without having good insides, your outside, the things that you see aren't going to work well, and you're not going to be happy. So yeah, I can't wait to show you afterwards. All right. And Marty says, make sure you take before and after photos. I do already have some before photos, but I think I'm going to do a little video too. I just have to tidy up my bedroom and bathroom. We never really quite got 100% settled in the bedroom, because we just don't have like the proper space for our bathroom stuff. So I just never really, and I knew we were going to do this reno, so I never really spent the time to like really organize it well. So before and after are going to be like a huge difference. Okay. Mary Ann's one of my team members, and she says that we were talking about this at our team meeting, and she cut her hair and it looks really beautiful now. And she said one of the reasons she cut her hair was because it was taking so long in the shower. Yeah, it is a thing when you wash your hair in the shower and you don't have room. So yeah. Marty says she loves remodeling. I do too. It's so much fun. Linda says, oh dear, you need closets. Where will they be? So the way our washroom works right now, and if you're not interested in this, please, you do not have to keep listening, but if you were interested, so Right now we have a teeny tiny washroom, and outside of that washroom, there are two small closets. And originally I was just going to take those two small closets and add them to the washroom to make a slightly bigger washroom. But we had a person, an interior designer who also does floor plans, come, and she says, I'm going to give you two options. So she took the option that I thought we were going to do, like incorporating those two small closets. And she said, I'll give you option two, which will incorporate your walk-in closet. So, and they're all together, like they're all on that side of the room, so they can all kind of be like gutted and used to create this bigger washroom. So the three closets plus the washroom will be that big master bath. It's not going to be huge even, and I'm making it sound, but it's so tiny now that anything is bigger. We will have a double vanity and a large shower, but no tub. So on the other side of the room, we have a window and a wall. And so we're going to do his and her closets flanking that window. So on either side of the window, we're going to do his and hers closets. There's also going to be a little bit of closet space left over that won't be used for the washroom. It was one of the small closets outside that I'm going to keep. And I'm going to turn it into, I'm not even sure what's going to go in there yet, what kind of organization. Maybe it will be a shoe closet. Maybe it will be a closet for long hanging clothes. I don't know yet. I'll have to see. There's also going to be a closet inside, like a linen type of closet inside the bathroom as well. So I have to buy, I bought 5 doors. And the closet doors, the his and her closets, are going to have like French opening doors, not like French as in glass doors, but the way, you know how French doors, they open in the center. I thought that would look cool because since I'm doing it from the start and I've had bifold doors before, I thought it would be cool if we kind of did the French opening doors because I thought that would look nicer. So we're going to do that, and that's going to match the other little closet door over on the other side. Then we need a bathroom door, and then we also need a linen, the in-bathroom linen closet doors. So I have 5 doors coming. I ordered them online. I hope they look good. The reviews were good on this website, so we'll see. So I'm excited to get those. They're actually arrived in Massachusetts, I think yesterday. So I should be getting a call soon about arranging for the delivery because I have to sign for them. That's way too much information, but it's so exciting. I've got in the house, I've already got my faucets. I've got my vanity handles, which are so beautiful. We've got lights, but we still have some things that we need to order, like closet handles, and so lots of stuff to think about. It's kind of fun. So Linda, we will have closets. That's a very long answer to your question. Nancy said she did the same thing with her house, and it was worth the mess. I hope it will be worth the mess. In the end, I hear this contractor is pretty good about clean up after the day is done. So let's hope that that's the case. I will be keeping on top of it too, by, regularly, cleaning stuff out. We're also doing it at the time of the year, like fall, which it will start to get cold, but it's not super cold yet. And hopefully we won't be using our AC and heating as much. So, but maybe we'll block off the vents to keep stuff from coming into our ductwork. All right, Marty says she can't wait to see it all. I'll do a separate video for that afterwards, so you guys can see the before and the after. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me today, and go out there and case that card and post it to the group. I want to see what you've done. And I hope you all have a great week. I will be back here on Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with another video for you. Have a great week until then. Bye-bye.